and that is solely based on their will or their schemes, or they're able to disguise secretly with their secrets and hide behind this and hide behind that, and basically, at the same time, have the art of blending in. You see, have the art of blending in. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing they do. They know how to blend in very well. You know what I'm saying? They know how to blend in very well. So you got to even watch that, because that's what they do. It's the art of blending in to where it become commonplace in the minds of the people. But the people then get to the point where their support and their beliefs of what they follow is based on the same ideology in which they're preaching into your brain, but it's not what they're doing. So we know that. So how did Trump know? Let's get back to that. How did Trump know? You know what I'm saying? They cheated. Is the question. That's a huge question. But because, because according to Trump, to Trump, the ballots were water wet. A water wet technique, I guess they put on the ballots. All of them, all of the ballots were water wet, which is not impossible to do. You see? Now, when we talk about water wet, what are we talking about, and what is he talking about? He's talking about a technology where it's a liquid thing that when you put the paper in it, it creates liquid lines in it, such a liquid metal. You know what I'm saying? To where they could have a tracking device and track each ballot. So this is what he's talking about, based on what Trump is saying, that every ballot was water wet. They knew where every ballot was. They knew where every ballot was thrown out. They knew where every ballot was cheat. They knew where every ballot was Xerox copy. You know what I'm saying? And the early mail-in ballots is based on that. You know what I'm saying? That's why they want early mail-in ballots, so they could use their Xerox copying technique. You know what I'm saying? And just be throwing all kinds of crazy ballots into the box. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, their cronies in the electoral colleges, which would probably be them senators or whoever they're supposed to be in the electoral college, ain't no more than a bunch of clowns working for them. So they was going to cheat anyway. But Trump knew, because of the ballots being water wet. You know what I'm saying? I guess it's some kind of military technique that they developed, that, when you dip it in the water, it creates wires. You know what I'm saying? And that's not hard to do, and not even hard science. Now, I mean, when you really look at it, you know what I'm saying? Even when we look at, the FBI documents expose the big January 6th riot thing, January 6th. What they're saying is the FBI exposed the Bureau big January 6th lie. You know what I mean? When we look at it. So we have to take a look at what they are saying based on that situation. You see what I'm saying? Based on that situation. We gotta take a look at that. You know? Excuse me, people. We gotta take a look at that when we look at it. Gotta remove some of this from over here, because sometimes I crowd up my desk, my little desk in here, my little office, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We crowd it up. But we have to look at why would they say something like that? You know what I'm saying? Why would they say something like that? You know what I mean? Let's just be honest. Why would Trump say that? Now we're looking at the FBI documents here. We're going to take a look at some of the documents, because this is a midday edition and we got to have it. So we're looking at the documents, and it says, you know what I mean, in its entirety, in its entire in its entirety, you know what I'm saying? We see that situation. Hold on a second. I think I messed that up just now. more people, you know what I'm saying? But we see it in its entirety as to what is going on. But in the whole thing is they're trying to say that the Bureau, you know what I'm saying, had the Bureau, the FBI had, been monitoring a whole lot of the stuff that was going on in its first place. You see what I'm saying? In its first place. They saw a lot of stuff that was going on, and they did nothing, is what they're trying to say, to investigate and make sure that, a lot of this stuff did not occur, or they missed stuff because of uh, the fact that they didn't have enough power, or were given enough power based on the Bureau to had stopped Facebook and Twitter and all these different things and monitored to the point where they could uh, uh, interact or intervene against these writers and different people that were out there. But, you know what I'm saying, that is bullshit based on what they're saying. It's just a lot of rhetoric and talk. Because whether we like it or not, the FBI and them was doing that leading up to that. But what was they going to do? Because to me, it seemed like they were down with the bullshit anyway. So what was they going to do? You know what I'm saying? They weren't going to do nothing but sit there, let it go through, and all of this and the third. You know what I'm saying? So now we see where it sounded like somebody's trying to say that it didn't have, they wanted power. So what power are you looking for? Gestapo power? So you can start coming to people's houses and rounding them up and shit like that. And that'll stop it. You know what I'm saying? What is this Gestapo? Like in Germany just before the war. You know what I'm saying? But we see a lot of that and a lot of rhetoric talking about how they didn't do this and how they didn't do that. They have ample. They was watching everything. They was doing everything, but they were told probably not to do nothing anyway. And what were they really going to do? You know what I'm saying? Because the people that were there, like I said before, Trump didn't send them there. That's what you trying to add it up to be. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, he water wet the ballot, so he knew they cheated. You know what I'm saying? And we looked at many, many different newscasters and medias, and they said that Trump had won the election by a landslide. You know what I'm saying? But that was never played. Those medias were shut down from airing. You know what I'm saying? The only place you would have gotten those medias was probably on the internet. And on the internet, not everybody goes on the internet. They sit there watching Channel 12 News, CNN, and all these different, you know what I'm saying, all crooked ass, fake ass news motherfuckers saying they did with when it came to coronavirus in the venting program. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of crooked ass information and shit, and thinking that they telling and putting it in the aspect that they're telling so much of the truth, and you're not telling no truths at all. So the people that saying the truth must be blocked, and the people who saying garbage, garbage on the mentality of pretending to be pretending and using the words that they seem of concern based on the fact that you said this is a pandemic, and then based on that you moved into that, then you move into globalization and all kinds of bullshit. So we know that people is a lot of people out here or seem to have a necromaniac ass mentality, and it's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? So we know that they're lying when it comes to the January 6th joint, because they did not put out all the information. They only putting out what their little committee is investigating, and who's leading that committee? Nancy Baloney Pelosi, witch blood sucking, Luciferian child. You know what I'm saying? So we don't even want to discuss that bullshit anymore. The FBI and this and that. It's talking about they lied. They lied. The FBI been lying a lot about a whole lot of things. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot of things. They created the FBI to me sometimes seems to be, and I hate to say this, and I don't know about every single agent and all of this and stuff, but the Bureau seems to have a Gestapo mentality. Same with the CIA and every Secret Service guy that seems to pop up everywhere like Men in Black. You know what I mean? It has a Gestapo type mentality. So, we're not in that with you. We want to see true justice. You know what I'm saying? Equal rights and true justice across the board. Not just for some. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, when we look at it. But now we see we got Jill Biden up here, out priest ready with the last rites from Joe Biden hospital rule in in long ago health crisis. Uh-huh. Okay. We see what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? A plot to destroy democracy. You know what I'm saying? Civil rights groups raise alarm at the threat of U.S. election. Mm-hmm. Well, you see? You see what I'm talking about? Because they're rallying the people. Now, when we look at it, a plot to destroy, you know what I'm saying, democracy, civil rights group raise alarm at threats to U.S. election. What threat? Now, when we look at it, you know what I'm saying? When we look at it now, and you know, in the in insidious and coordinated effort between lawmakers and extremists and extremist groups is under the way is underway to undermine American democracy. You know what I'm saying? According to a new report. Mm-hmm. Well, so we see.